Focus on the outside of business. Outside of business. With the focus group.
You really believe we can succeed? Yes.
Hey, welcome back to the focus group. It's hour 2, and John Nash is still here with his good friend and co-host Tim Bennett.
You're still burping?
And no, I'm off the ginger ale. And manning the board is Matt, and at the phones is the enchanting Sabrina, 866-305-6887, the recently matriculated Sabrina. And if you have any medical issues, she is now trained to save us, but she doesn't want anything to happen today. No, not until she's certified.
Well, I took an aspirin, so no heart attack over here.
As promised, we are now joined by, Tim and I affectionately call you the LinkedIn Makeover Queen.
Oh, I love that.
Donna Serdula, and you could pick up her book. It's LinkedIn Makeover, Professional Secrets to a Powerful LinkedIn Profile. You can get that at linkedin-makeover.com. And Donna also, and I'm reading about this, you've rebranded, and now you have a company called Vision Board Media.
Yes.
Vision Board Media provides the full 360 of integrated services necessary to brand yourself and craft a strong presence online. Vision Board Media will help you take control of your internet presence and truly present yourself in a way that inspires, impresses, and builds confidence in your abilities, products, and services. I like you, Donna. You got that in 2 sentences. I know what you're doing. You're going to empower me. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I love being here.
So can people get the book online?
They can absolutely get it online. They can get a actual, tangible copy, but they can also get an ebook or a PDF.
Yeah.
So where would they find that? What's the website for that?
LinkedIn-makeover.com/book. Or they could go to Amazon, or they could go to Barnes & Noble.
I'll tell you why. It's a good Christmas gift or a good holiday gift.
It's a great
for somebody.
gift, actually.
Particularly if you want to, if you're trying to find something for someone who is tough to get a gift for. I think it's a real useful tool. I've used it a lot, although I've been remiss in not finishing my profile.
How bad are we? How
Horrible.
bad are we, Donna? I mean, I have mine.
We're horrible.
Mine is like this much left to go. But here's the thing, and you warned us about this. Now, folks, if Donna can work with you individually and do a LinkedIn makeover on your profile, and she sends you a document, a Word document, and she at first you're like, oh, it's like 12 or 15 questions. But you really, I think for Tim and I, it's one of those things where I approach it and I'm like, oh God, I have to think about what is my goal? What am I,
People tell me it's a personal development journey.
There you go.
When you do the questionnaire, you think, oh, I just have to put in my groups and the associations and things like that. But we really ask some, deep probing questions because, you have to realize your LinkedIn profile, it isn't what you did. It's where you want to go. Who do you want to be? What is that future you want to shape for yourself?
Nor do you want it to just be your resume put online.
Right.
Which is, for listeners who have listened to Donna before on her previous visits, that's something she reinforces a great deal, is you don't want to just throw your resume up. It's an active thing to find it. It's not just your resume, but the profile should be active in helping you find who you want to connect with and the jobs you want to get.
And who you are and why a person should be impressed and interested in working with you and
I
networking
like that impressed
with you.
part.
You know what the problem is with you, John, as it is with me, is that we have, dual personalities. Right, so you've got a radio show and you're a creative
Broadcast
director.
personality,
we
and
have
then
an
we have
ad
our
agency,
consulting stuff. Yeah.
So that's what I struggled with. But that's why we're working with you, but we've been bad.
We will one day,
cold.
hopefully soon, we will sit together and we will tell that story because really, even though it seems like it's 2 different stories, they come together and they really are integrated. We just have to, tell that
that's
story.
when the tables turn, because once you fill out the Word doc and you get
Right.
it back to Donna, then she's going to call you and talk to you, but it's more like you're being interviewed by Donna. So we're interviewing her right now, but it's the flip side is she basically asks you all these questions.
The good thing, though, is, guys, I'm not going to take any questions from callers. So.
Hey, but Donna is here for your calls, 866-305-6887. She knows everything about LinkedIn, including this new thing that we kind of talked about at the top of the hour. And then Donna just brought me an interesting sheet here, which is actually a printout of your skills and expertise. So, Donna, this is something that they rolled out with that kind of facelift they did, and it just magically appeared. And it's skills and what is skills, expertise? What is this thing?
Think about it like your keywords. If someone was going to search for you, they did not know your name, what would be those words they might type into the search engine, hoping to find someone just unique to you? That's what those That's what the endorsements are. That's what the skills and expertise are.
So are you suggesting that this is more of a recruiter tool, or I guess a recruiter could easily use it that way?
I think a recruiter could use it. I think a lot of people could use it to really find, those skills and expertise a person like you should have, or whatever it is that they're sourcing for, because it doesn't have to necessarily be a job or a position. It could be a project. It could be a potential partner, or even, someone that they, maybe want to do business with.
How many categories are you allowed to have?
You can have up to 50 skills and expertise.
And no one has 50 skills or expertise, right?
Donna's got...
Well, I'm going to tell you, you should max out.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
How many do you have?
Well, I have all 50.
She's got top 10, and then and then there are some people that the top one was you've gotten 352 endorsements. Is that what that is?
So here's the thing, right? You yourself go in there and you decide what those keywords are, what those skills and expertise. And then when a person visits your profile, and they're a first-degree connection, so they're absolutely directly connected to you. As soon as they visit your profile, at the very top of the screen,
I've seen that.
It's going to say, do you endorse John for
the following?
Yeah, and these are
I didn't know you
could
could self-select those. Someone has endorsed me smartly, and you chose advertise. You chose.
I did it thoughtfully.
You got the ball rolling because and it's like Donna has endorsed you for these. I'm like, oh, that's good because that's what I do. But I didn't know you could actually self-select these things to display that then you get endorsed for.
So what you want to do is when you get back to your office, you're in front of your computer, go into LinkedIn, go to Edit Profile, scroll all the way down to where you see Skills and Expertise, and that's when you start choosing those 50 skills that you want to be found for.
Now, does it end up being a popularity contest? Because that was some of the, I was reading some people have made a lot of comments, almost as, and John and I talked earlier, has LinkedIn jumped the shark here? Mm-hmm. Does it become a popularity contest, or is someone really looking at these things and are they going to be swayed to contact you?
Well,
or is it just another way to pull out your keywords, as you mentioned?
Well, I believe, now I could be wrong here, but what I strategically think LinkedIn is trying to do, and when I wrote my book, LinkedIn Makeover, what I noticed was, because I really wanted to figure out, okay, I wanted to crack that code. Why do some profiles rise to the top in search results than others? And what I discovered is, yes, there are certain fields that are highly sensitive, but on a whole, it's almost like the old Hotbot or AltaVista technology prior to Google. It was keyword density, keyword stuffing. The more times you put in these specific keywords, the more you're going to pop up for those keywords in search. Now, LinkedIn has to recognize that their algorithm is a little hinky in that respect, and that means people could hack the system and, be very abusive. And so by having other people endorse you, that's providing authority. Authority that you can't quite control because it's up to other people to endorse you. And so I believe they're doing it for search engine optimization, and those who have a lot more endorsements, they're the ones that are going to pop up to the top of the search.
So is it similar to Facebook? Because we John and I joke about this. Please like us over at, on our Facebook, but we haven't really mined that, and we haven't spent money to go get people to like us. I know people try to get 5,000, 10,000 likes or whatever it is. We've kind of ignored that. Is this something to ignore, though? If you just said, I don't care about endorsements, it's not going to mean anything. I mean, is it something to ignore, or do you think it's going to? You're saying it'll rise you to the top.
I think it's going to really affect search engine rankings, and because of that, I think you should pay attention to it. And think about it again. If a person is searching you, wants to learn more about you, don't you want them to see that you've been endorsed by a number of people? Now, here's the thing. We want it to be authentic. We want it to be real. So I wouldn't suggest joining any of those groups that, people just blindly endorse you. You should do it in an intelligent, smart, authentic, true manner.
It's quicker to endorse, though, than it is if somebody puts down a recommendation.
Right.
So someone that actually takes the time to do a recommendation, does that hold more weight, do you think?
Oh, yes. I believe so. I don't know if it holds more weight in terms of the search engine rankings, but I think in terms of a person looking at it. Now, I've been calling endorsements recommendations light, but it makes, people struggle.
That's a good way. Well, and the recommendation side of things. All right, so the endorsement is something a first-degree connection can do quite easily. Mm-hmm. The recommendation, not so.
Did you endorse me, Nash?
I haven't seen your old profile. Because it's your old profile. I'm waiting for the refreshed, the Queen of LinkedIn Makeover.
Baloney.
What would you like me to endorse?
I think we should endorse each other. Is that another problem?
Well, I
Like
think
if
that's
John
exactly
and I
what they-
endorse each other.
I think
you
that's
know,
what they want you to do, though,
Really?
because you guys know each other and you can, very truly, in a most real manner, endorse each other.
It depends on the day, because if one of these experience things was grump, I could endorse you for grump.
Well, that's a good question. What, this is kind of like everyone gets a medal, right? At school. So
Everyone gets a medal.
I mean, I wonder if there will ever be a function where, really wasn't good at budgeting. I mean, or is it just?
Well, it's funny that you should
you've
mention
got
that.
your sheet there, and John, you're endorsing everything.
But it's all for Donna. I'm holding Donna's, by the way, and it's a social media, online marketing.
But there's not one that's empty.
No, she's.
And I probably have 10 that are empty. But I didn't put any up.
Right. And so people probably don't really know what to endorse you for.
The surprising thing, I'm looking at yours, is like writing should be really at the top, because you help people do this, and you write a lot, and you've only been endorsed 18 times for that.
I know, and I've been endorsed an awful lot for SEO, and
yeah,
which seems a little odd to me because I think more of a LinkedIn.
All right, so basically then, this I think you nailed it, because you're the queen of the LinkedIn makeover. Recommendation light.
Yeah.
This is a scan.
Yeah.
This is one of those things you scan up. SCAN. You scan it. You look at it really quick. You see a lot of numbers, and you see a clustering of certain traits and abilities, and then you might go into the profile deeper if you want. Okay.
So it's good for search.
Yeah, it's
and
good
then
for
search.
search.
And then if you're really interested, you'll dig down and read the recommendations.
Great idea, though, Tim. I will endorse you. I'll go on that.
And so here's the thing: if you want
for
to get
certain things,
everything, I want everything endorsed.
But if you want to get endorsements, go out and endorse people, and they'll know that you endorse them, so they'll feel that guilt.
Speaking of
and they'll
which,
come back
Donna,
and endorse you.
I routinely get, and you trained us. Listeners, Donna, as you know, has been here before, and she's excellent at her chosen career. I get, like, John, so-and-so wants to link up with you. And I'll puzzle over it for a while.
Why?
I mean, well, I just, like, I linked in with someone.
Which kind of person would you puzzle over?
I don't know who they are.
No, but what about what they do? Like, say it was somebody that was a creative director in automotive.
There was someone who was a creative director from Nicole Miller, I think, and she also, and here's the weird one, after I said yes, I'll connect, 2 days later she endorsed me. I have no idea who she is, but she endorsed me
she
for.
might know you.
And I'm suspecting it's through the radio.
I did a lot of work with Nicole Miller at Subaru. They could know you from there.
Possible, yeah. And then sometimes you get people that have 5 people in their network. And I just kind of let that invitation go away.
Well, that's
is that you're smiling and you're
it's
looking
usually
at me,
from overseas.
Yeah, I would let that one expire.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, sometimes I'm like,
They're fishing.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
There are a lot of, spammy type of accounts, but, on a whole, I say connect. The more people you know on LinkedIn, you're connected to on LinkedIn, the more benefit you're going to find, because it's really about developing that strong network so you can be found, that you can find people. And, I always say, imagine yourself in the real world. You go to a conference, you go to a networking
like a networking
event.
party. Yeah.
You would never stay in the corner just talking to people that you know. You go out there.
Some people I know do. Hi, my name is, I'm in the corner. You know me, I'm out there.
Oh, it's Chatterbox. The other thing about LinkedIn I've noticed lately is a lot of people are posting either articles that they're interested in or somewhat almost a semi-blog. I don't know if that's the right word. Would you recommend that as well?
Oh, yeah.
So if John and I, again, in trying to raise our profile, if we said we found an article we liked, because usually I post that stuff on Facebook, but I haven't used LinkedIn for that because I have this impression that LinkedIn people don't want to be bothered like Facebook people do, but I've noticed LinkedIn seems to get an awful lot more traction lately.
It is, because they got rid of the Twitter feed, which means their news feed is a lot cleaner. It's a lot more simple. It's not being...
So they don't use Twitter?
So...
Yeah, well, at one time, people who were tweeting, all of that information was being just ported right into the
with
LinkedIn...
the little hashtag.
Right.
Yeah, and I hate the look of that.
Yeah, and it made no sense because you're only getting about half the conversation. They got rid of that back in the summer, which is great. But, I think people are absolutely beginning to use LinkedIn more and more as that social type of network than just a tool or just as a database. But here, I'm gonna give you a great secret, okay?
Uh-oh.
This
Let
is
me
a
get a pen.
takeaway. This is a takeaway. You're gonna love this. So let's say you're out there, you're on the New York Times, you're on the Huffington Post, whatever it is, and you find this really awesome article. At that point, you have to go in and copy the URL and get into LinkedIn and post it, and it's a pain in the butt, and it's too intimidating. You're not gonna even bother. But if you go and on LinkedIn, it's called the bookmarklet. So just do a Google search for LinkedIn bookmarklet. So I'll spell that BOOKMARKLET.
Bookmarklet.
I'll post it to the Facebook page, and I'll also put it up on our Shop Talk blog as well.
Yeah, and what happens is it puts a little button on your toolbar. So
in your browser window.
In your browser window. And so when you're on the New York Times and you're on this really awesome article, you just hit that little LinkedIn button and poof, right onto your LinkedIn newsfeed for everyone to see. It takes just seconds.
Whoa. I'm real stupid. So if I
So you don't.
is
you
this
don't
an
even
app?
No, it's it's probably an add-on for your browser.
Yeah, it's like an
Thanks,
extension.
Matt. That's an extension. See, Matt's sci and tech. He knows this stuff. An extension.
I still don't know how. So how would I do that?
It will also appear at the top. You use Safari? Do you use
Yeah.
or Firefox?
Firefox.
Okay, so it will appear in the top bar of Firefox. There'll be like a little thing that you can click, and it will automatically send what you're looking to your LinkedIn account. And
But do I have to download it?
You have to download. You have to just I'll post it, but you have to find the Bookmarklet app, and once you click on it, it will install itself into your browser as
Matt's
an
looking at
add-on.
me. I'm I can barely turn the thing on, Matt. So we'll put that on the
Yep,
put that
I
on the
sure
on the
will.
blog. Also, I wanted to mention that there's a link also to Donna's site at focusgroupradio.com, and you can click on that and go right to
you're
the site.
one of the only you have a color that's unique to the whole website for your little bar. I don't know if you saw it yet, but it's like this bronzy brown, and it's like right in the middle of the
brassy
thing.
for a brassy
And
broad.
you might want to change the text. Let me know, because I just put
Okay.
this thing up. It says crank up your career.
Oh, I like
LinkedIn
that.
LinkedIn with your profile makeover with Donna Serdula, or featuring Donna Serdula. So, do you want to take a quick break and then come back with Donna?
Oh, if you'd like to, I didn't
Yeah.
know we were. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with Donna. Stay with us.
Saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace. Put out in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried.
The Focus Group is brought to you in part by Atlantis Events, the world leader in all gay cruise and resort vacations.
The Focus Group with Tim Bennett and John Nash.
Focus Group Proverb 19:12.
You must work with what you have to get what you want.
Now, back to the Focus Group with Tim and John on OutQ. SiriusXM 108. 108.
Hey, welcome back to the show. John Nash here with Tim Bennett, and that's one of our old
Oh,
Focus
I
Group
didn't even know we still
proverbs.
had that.
They're still in the system. We are joined in studio by Donna Serdula, who is the LinkedIn Makeover Queen. That's our nickname for her.
Well, very few shows could use that.
We can use it, but no one else. But on the serious side, Donna is the author of a book called LinkedIn Makeover, Professional Secrets to a Powerful LinkedIn Profile. She is available for, I want to call it a rehab of your profile. She's top to bottom. She could do a fantastic job for you. You could reach her at linkedin-makeover.com. Or if you visit focusgroupradio.com and you're signing up for a pair of socks, and if you like your socks, then you think, I want a LinkedIn makeover. Right below that, there's a little bar you click, and that will take you to Donna's site.
Sign up for the cruise, go to Vegas. What else you want to do?
Get a profile makeover. Hey, let's go to Ryan in Toronto. Ryan, you have a comment for Donna.
Hi, Donna. It's a pleasure to speak with you. I'm sorry that I came into your conversation a little bit midpoint, so I hope I'm not retouching on something. I've had a LinkedIn profile since pretty much the dawn of time. I'm a web developer and a network engineer. I think I've been using it since they started. This whole process of endorsing people, I'm finding to be a little, I would say, unprofessional in its foundation of its benefits. Using an example, I'm a web developer and I work with Exchange Server and SQL Server and Linux products. But how does one of my LinkedIn contacts endorse me for something that I've never done for them nor know. And what's happening, I'm noticing on a lot of people, is they get this, do you want to endorse someone? And all they do is click enter because it gives them a predefined set of rules that, or skill sets. And I think that what's going to happen is you're going to get employers that are going to look at somebody's profile and go, oh, this person knows, XYZ, ABC, they've been a public speaker, they've done, Toastmasters or whatever they've done, and really they've never had that experience, but because somebody has been, just clicking okay, I have to wonder what this is going to do to them in the long term.
Well, I will say I don't believe this is the very last iteration of the skills and expertise endorsements. I do think that LinkedIn is going to continually work it out to make it better. But, don't forget that you have total control of your profile, and you can go into those endorsements and you can delete those that simply don't make sense for you. All you need to do is get into the edit profile screen, scroll down to skills and expertise, hover over that weird one, and hit remove. So you can do that. You do have that control.
No, and I appreciate that. And I think for the people that are active in using LinkedIn or use it as the business model that it was set forth for, I can appreciate that. Mm-hmm. But what you end up with is, and I'll use an example. It's on my profile. I have somebody on my profile who works for Cineplex Odeon Theaters. He is what they call a cast member. So in other words, he serves popcorn.
I could work at Disney World too, but cast.
Yeah, and I mean, and it popped up for me to endorse him for being a front-end manager of a large retail business, when really he serves popcorn. Now, am I going to endorse him for that? No, I'm not. And that's going to look bad on me if somebody were to see that I endorsed him for that. Mm-hmm. But he, at his age, at 22, 23 years old, he's going to go, oh, I got a free endorsement. I'm not going to, I'm not going to remove that off my profile. I think there has to be a level of
some checks and balances, right?
Yeah, and I think that that's missing right now. I think that if they're building some statistics or building some feel of the ground to see what's going on, I think that's great. But then they need to make that a little more known to the community that uses them, especially their paid members like myself, because I use LinkedIn to find outsourced developers to help me with projects when I get overloaded, and I'm now getting concerned that I can't use that information anymore because of the endorsements.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point, because you're right. It has become very much like a free-for-all, and you do have to go into your profile and really monitor it and make sure that what people are putting up there for you is correct. And it does give a sense of, can I believe what's on other people's profiles? But, on a whole, I think when you look at most, I don't know if it's a free-for-all for everyone. I think those who are high-end users and they are really posting a lot, I think they're the ones that are attracting more endorsements than normal. I would hate to have you, back away from LinkedIn because of that. But I could understand where you question
it. It's a professional thing. Hey, thanks so much for the call today, Ryan, and have a great weekend.
So it sounds to me like what you're saying is you have to really manage your profile now a lot more than you did before, because a lot of people would just put things up, but now that these endorsements are there, if you
and
want to
Ryan brings
sure.
up a great point. I mean, I love that popcorn thing. It's a great example, right? Front end high end retail.
Mm-hmm. Well, but the other thing is there is that free-form field. So, that scares me on the abuse that could happen. I mean, I'm always looking to see what people are endorsing me for, and thank God it's always been something positive. But, a person could do a free form.
But you have to okay it, though, right? I mean, when someone endorses you, do you have to okay it, or it just happens?
It just happens. It's funny. In a few situations, I think when it's a free form, I think you do have to add to the profile. But you'd still have to review it, and that could be upsetting if a person chose. But again, there is no anonymity on LinkedIn, truly. I mean, you're putting in your first name, your last name.
Yeah.
And
you're right about that. Yeah.
And here's another thing. With this new profile, that profile picture is everywhere. So, I mean, at one time, your picture was only on your profile. Now it's next to the endorsements. It's next to the recommendations. It's everywhere.
You bring up something interesting about that. Is it just me, or am I suspicious of a profile that doesn't have a picture?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because I don't know why you wouldn't put it up there. I mean, at Facebook, I can understand maybe you're going to change your profile picture. You'll put a picture of your favorite dog or your pet or something. But with LinkedIn, it's almost as if you had a picture on your resume. Why would you not do it? It's unless you didn't take one.
But you never would put a picture on a resume.
No.
Unless you were a model or something.
Like having a headshot or something. Yeah. But it's such a small image that
It's gotten so much bigger though,
Big-
with this
yeah.
this latest rollout. When I was here last time, I'm like, it got bigger. And
Yeah, I
this
had
time
to
it's
figure
gotten
out how to
even
do
bigger.
that. LinkedIn's an amazing service, but let's not kid ourselves. None of us own it,
Right.
so they can tweak and do what they like. And
So what do you think is going to happen with LinkedIn? I mean, is there any plans? Do you know any plans going forward about things they may change or things they may do?
What they recently had it was an article, I believe, that came out that said they really see themselves as being that future resume, where it's not even the resume, it's that LinkedIn profile that's going to truly precede you. And that's what people are going to be looking at. Although I have to say, I think they're already there.
Right.
yeah, I agree.
Well, I have a number of friends. I used to be a headhunter or executive recruiter.
Yeah.
And and we used, it was all resumes back then or whatever, but all my friends now that are still in the industry, this is all they use. They use LinkedIn, and that's how they find everybody for work, or they'll contact somebody to say, can you recommend somebody, or do you know someone for a particular position? So it really is important to have a good profile up and not just post your resume.
Yeah.
So.
And there's so much more business intelligence on these profiles. On the right sidebar, you can really visually see how you're connected to people, the companies and the schools that this person is entrenched in. I mean, it's amazing what you can find out about people now just by glancing at their LinkedIn profile.
I'm a bit of a
agree.
voyeur. I like looking to see who's looked at me.
Well, and Donna taught us that trick. I think on her second visit, you said there's a membership available that allows you to actually get the data on who's visited
who's
your
looked at you.
profile.
Yeah.
And that is interesting, actually. I must admit that, and sometimes it's from random industries, and then I know right away it's probably someone who heard us on the radio, was looking at that.
One thing that does surprise me, though, on those that people looked at you are people who, similar to John's point about the picture, there's a lot of people that just will say a LinkedIn member or somebody that's in advertising.
Right.
They want to be anonymous. Is that?
Mm-hmm. And so you have three choices. You can be totally anonymous. You can be slightly anonymous, where it says, someone within the media.
You can be anonymous when you're. I didn't know
You
that.
can be totally anonymous. You can be slightly anonymous, or you can be all out there. And I, of course, recommend being totally out there. Just, be visible.
Okay.
But what that means is, if you're anonymous or even semi-anonymous, it's quid pro quo. So you cannot see if other people are viewing your profile. So if you choose to hide yourself, you can't see
Well,
other
And you're
people.
hidden from everything else.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Now, quickly, Forbes.com had an article that I was just going to throw by you. It's 10 buzzwords to cut from your LinkedIn profile. Did you happen to catch this online?
I did see that.
LinkedIn culled through its member profiles and came up with a top 10 list of terms that are overused by professionals. The top one was creative, then organizational, then effective. Now, as I'm reading this, I'm like, oh, there goes my whole profile. Motivated, extensive expertise.
Is dynamic in there?
No.
Oh.
Track record, innovative, responsible, analytical, and problem solving. What was the one you just...
Dynamic. I run into that one all the time. I'm a dynamic executive.
Dynamic was taken out this year, as was communication skills, and replaced by responsible and analytical. That was at the end of the article.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but no. Well, what do you say if someone says I'm a creative problem solver?
Well, I always say let's zero in a little bit more there. But look at those words. Those are words that turn up in a resume.
Right.
This is just such a clear copy and paste.
Right.
Yeah.
From that very, and we know how exciting and engaging resumes are. So, copying it there, putting into your profile, and thinking you did a great job. But the truth of the matter is, this is an opportunity to sell yourself, to really show how interesting and effective you are. It's not the place to say that you're a creative problem solver. Instead, what you want to do is you want to tell that story of why. Why are you that creative problem solver? What is that accomplishment that you had that really showcased that skill?
So more of a manner of what you did versus just the word descriptor.
Yeah.
That's tough to do, though.
Show rather than tell.
Well,
when we go quiet like that, that means you made a point.
which is nearly impossible on this show. Well, Donna, listen. We always say time's a thief. So we want to thank you for joining us. Why don't you let our listeners know how all the different places they can find you, and what's your information?
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Well, you guys can visit me at my website, linkedin-makeover.com. And that's where you can learn all about me. You can also go to LinkedIn and type in Donna Serdula, and you can see what my profile looks like.
Serdula.
There you go. And that's a pretty good place to start.
And Focus Group Radio.
Focus
we have
Group
a little
Radio.
button now. It's a little bronzy brown button.
So Donna, we want to thank you for joining us. We hope you're going to go see the tree today.
I'm hoping to.
Okay. We want to make sure that do we want to take one quick call? If it comes through.
If it comes through, we can do that. Sure.
Well, we want to, so we'll see you in the new year, and you'll still play along with us.
I've got a lot
Absolutely.
of you're going to be here again in the first quarter of the new year, and I think it's going to be so the Enchanting Sabrina. Someone's working on the thing.
Someone's calling before the list. So anyway, hey, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We look forward to seeing you in the new year. Have a great holiday.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Happy holidays.
Thanks. It's the Focus Group with Tim Bennett and John Nash. We'll be right back with Tim's List. Thanks, Donna.